You think you're broken. But what if this pain is actually opening the door to your awakening? Sadhguru says that suffering can be an even greater teacher than any guru, because it breaks you open from the inside, and only then creates space for the divine to enter. In this video, you'll discover why pain isn't a punishment, it's a deep call for transformation, and how, if faced consciously, it can become your greatest spiritual portal. Most people believe suffering comes from life's situations, but according to Sadhguru, pain doesn't come from events, it comes from how you process them inside. That's why two people can go through the exact same loss and respond in completely different ways. Suffering isn't from the outside world, it's created by your inner resistance to what is. What truly hurts isn't what happened, but the story your mind created about it. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Why me? I didn't deserve this. These inner narratives are the real source of suffering, and the more you fight against reality, the more pain grows. It's like swimming upstream, you just wear yourself out. Suffering is born from not accepting what is. But that's exactly where it becomes a teacher. Pain forces you to face your illusion of control. It makes you turn inward, question your ego, and strip away your masks. And when you finally stop resisting, something shifts. Pain stops being the enemy and starts becoming the revealer. And that's when the portal begins to open. Suffering feels destructive, and it is. But what it destroys isn't your essence. It tears down everything you've built on top of it. Sadhguru explains that deep pain breaks the ego, the attachments, the false identity. It empties you from within. And that emptiness, as scary as it may feel, is the perfect setup for something real to emerge. When you lose something you thought was essential, a person, an idea, a position, and your world seems to collapse, what actually falls apart is the illusion of security. And only when you're down on the floor do you realize, maybe what you called me was just armor. Pain creates cracks, and it's through those cracks that the light can enter. That's when spiritual rebirth begins. That's why your darkest moments aren't signs of failure, they're signs of transition. It's the old self screaming as it dies. And if you're brave enough not to run, to look inward even while bleeding, you'll discover something pain can't touch, something that remains. And that's exactly what the pain came to reveal. Unconscious pain destroys, but pain that's observed and felt with presence transforms. Sadhguru says the problem isn't pain, it's unconscious, automatic suffering. When you begin to watch the pain without identifying with it, something changes. You stop being the victim and become the silent witness to your own healing. That's when suffering becomes a teacher, because now you're learning from it. You still feel the pain, but it no longer consumes you. It teaches you. It shows where attachment still lives, where illusion still drives. And the more you look with awareness, the lighter it gets. Not because the pain disappears, but because you stop carrying desperation with it. This is the birth of inner freedom, when you realize pain can exist without ruling over you, that it can burn, but doesn't have to destroy. And the more you allow yourself to feel it with courage and honesty, the more it purifies you, not as punishment, but as a path. Because pain, when walked through with awareness, opens doors comfort never could. And once the pain passes, something strange happens. Silence. A kind of emptiness that might feel unsettling at first, but holds incredible power. Sadhguru explains that this emptiness isn't a lack of space. A space where your soul can finally breathe, without noise, without defense, without mental clutter. That's where real expansion begins. This state comes after collapse, when everything you used to defend falls, when you're left with no more certainties, no more rush, no more masks, just presence. And in that inner silence, subtle insights arise, deep understanding begins to bloom. It's like pain cleared the surface. And now what was buried at the bottom starts to emerge. The peace that comes after pain is different. It doesn't depend on anything. But it takes courage to stay in that emptiness. Because the mind will try to fill it with new desires, new fears, new distractions. And that's when many people fall back into the old cycle. But if you can resist the urge to run and just stay, you'll see that nothing is missing in that emptiness. Because that's where you finally find what you are searching for everywhere else, yourself. When you go through pain with presence, something in you never goes back. And that's not weakness, it's freedom. Sadhguru says suffering can be a portal, but only if you go through it awake. Because it's in the core of pain that you meet what no external search could give you, the direct experience of who you truly are without the layers. After the pain, you discover a new way of being, lighter, quieter, more real. Not because life got easier, but because you stopped resisting what is. And that surrender connects you to something bigger than the pain. A field of living intelligence that starts guiding your steps. You speak with more truth, act with more clarity, and live with deeper presence. That pain wasn't meaningless. It broke you, but only to reveal what was beneath the shell. And now, this new version of you carries something that can't be taught, only lived. Wisdom. Not the kind found in books, but the kind forged in fire and still standing after the ashes. And that's why, if you let it, suffering will be your most brutal and most honest teacher. The pain you're feeling today might just be the start of your freedom. If you walk through it with awareness, it stops being a punishment and becomes the path. Sadhguru always says, suffering has value if it pushes you inward. Watch now, listen to this and fall in love with your life again. Sadhguru reveals the secret. This video will help you turn your pain into spiritual strength. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and keep walking this path. Pain is not the end. It's the portal.